You got a few, we got a slew. We tryna do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. Yes. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, you know I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, ay, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I make something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos, they don't ride to the death. We got the legacy, we got the hope, and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory.
Check.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, you know I do it for the glory. Ay, the glory. Ay, ay, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
Don't get me started, I'm pleading. If this is a race, can't none of y'all beat me. Boy, I'm so good, it feel like I'm cheating. The well of the storm, I feel like it's season. This type of drive could push Lamborghinis. So get yourself signed and have your own sneaker. I'm in the van, I'm pushing the meter. A legend like John for everyday people. I got the heart of a champion. I got the blood of a winner. I don't know how to be stagnant. I got way too much ambition. I keep on beating statistics. How would I be denied? My only option is winning. I'm crossing the finish line. I am the greatest. Nothing can stop me now. The time has come for me to take my crown. I am a champion. No one can slow me down. The world is mine. Once I cross the finish line, I'm number one. I put myself in a place where nothing can top me. I feel like I'm space. It's bigger than profit, but still I get paid. My thinking colossal, not minimum wage. Talk to the loss like I know the way. Stay on my job like who need a break? It wasn't possible. I heard him say, but I'm like MacGyver to all my mistakes. Running back home, now look at the bases. Been winning so long, I feel like a native. I got what you want, but you cannot take it. I do what you don't, cause I'm more creative. I put me on, no help for your favors. I'm breaking the mold to show you the flavors. I got control, you can't enable. I'm using my flaws to make me the greatest. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. 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 Yeah, I'm number one. I'm number one. I am the greatest. Nothing can stop me now. The time has come for me to take my crown. I am a champion. No one can slow me down. The world is mine. Once I cross the finish line, I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. Once I cross the finish line, I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Yeah, I'm number one. I'm number one.
Live from the DeVos Fieldhouse, Matt Wayner joined shortly here by the man himself, Mike, the Culminator. Mike, glad to have you here.
Matt Wayner, good to be with you, my friend, as we get set for Hope College Women's Basketball. The voice of Hope College Women's Basketball, nothing like the season opener.
Hey, Mike, no place I'd rather be than here on a Friday night with you, about to open up this Hope College Women's Basketball season. We got a lot of great basketball ahead of us. I'd like to have a chance to talk a little bit about a nice conversation I had with a few of the Hope College Women's basketball players, Jada Gardner, Sydney Biss, and Olivia Bellows, captains on this year's team. A team that at 26-4 last last year, made it to the 3rd round of the NCAA playoffs, and all 3 of those girls say the expectation is to be right back there.
Well, I think so. Excuse me. I think it was a team that, not saying this disrespectfully, overachieved last year. It was a younger team, and they had a few growing pains, and the fact that they made it to the 3rd round, they made it to the Sweet 16 was tremendous. You know, Garner was the MIAA MVP, and Olivia Bellows' productivity off the bench, and Sydney Viss with a breakout year. And now they've got some newbies on the lineup, anchored by those 3 veterans that you talked about, which is always nice to get their perspective. And I think if you talk to Brian Morehouse and Courtney Cuss and the other coaches, they're really excited about where this team can go. Direction, which is straight up to the top, because they are loaded with talent.
You're totally right, and it's a team that, you know, all 3 of them said there's going to be a couple of freshmen, and Leah and Anna Richards that'll play a lot of minutes tonight that they're excited about. You'll have Courtney Lee, the senior down there from Fishers, anchoring it as the center. But Mike, I mean, this is a team, like you said, you look at 3 years ago, it's Kennedy Schoonville, it's Olivia Voskel, it's senior-led, 5th years, and these girls showed up in a big way. I mean, I've had my Sid Viss stock since her freshman year, and that's what I said to her. I said, you were coming off the bench hitting big shots then. You did it last year, and now for her junior season, I think she has a really good opportunity back in that all MIAA category as well.
And I think you're right. You know, nowadays you've got like freshmen, like you talked about Sid Viss, a junior now, but players like Taryn Maynard, the sophomore out of Jenison. She came in as a freshman and immediately as a point guard, which is, you know, you play basketball. It's a hard position to master, especially as a newbie. And so those newcomers just step right in. They look comfortable. They play like a veteran, and it just makes the development so much faster.
And when you're looking at the 1-2 position as well, shooting guard Lauren Leach, she was nursing an ACL, coming off ACL last year. I think I got my eyes on her to be somebody that's going to come in and play huge minutes for this team. A team that Coach Morehouse, he's got to find his 10. You know, and that's what I said to Belly and Viss and Gardner, as I said, do you guys know who those are going to be? And they all said, we're excited to find out. We're excited to find out who that 7, 8, 9, 10 is going to be for a team that returns a few seniors, but it's going to be really exciting to see who ends up being those freshmen, sophomores that play big minutes just like they did.
2 points I want to add to that, Matthew, is the fact that when you've got so many players vying for that second 5, that's Brian Morehouse's style, you know, play 5, sub 5. That's good. That's good competition. That shows you the depth. And B, to your point, I want to circle back to Lauren Leach. I talked with Courtney Cuss, the assistant coach for Hope College. I said, who's your most developed player from last year to this year? She said, Lauren Leach. She's made huge strides in her game. I did not know she was coming off an injury, and good knowledge on your part. And the fact that she is back and healthy, and you have a healthy player with that much improvement, it just adds to that layer of the balance for Coach Morehouse.
You talked about as well, coming off the bench last year was Chloe Brunsberg, a shooter. I think she's going to be really comfortable in that role and probably take on a little bit more with the loss of Carson Carlbloom. She's transferred out, and she, I believe, is in the OAC. I don't want to speak.
Wittenberg, yes,
right, in the OAC, who, of course, Wilmington, coming from the Ohio Athletic Conference today. And we'll have a chance to talk a little bit about Wilmington in a minute, but wrapping up our conversation about this Hope women's team, Mike, is, you know, Brunsberg's going to be somebody else. I think she's going to play minutes and hit a lot of threes off the bench.
How about Maddie Petrulia, the transfer from Loyola Chicago, a Division I program?
Yeah, no, I just don't know what we're going to see yet. I can't wait to find out. But that's another one that, you know, when I asked them about the loss of Carl Blum as well as Megan Kaiser, you know, they just said, we're going to have to see who's going to fill those minutes, who's going to fill that shooting load that Carl Bloom had as well. And if we know anything about Coach Morehouse, it's next man up.
It really is. And to your point about, you know, losing some players and filling in, we just saw the Anderson men defeat Hope College men basketball. They lose 3 starters, 3 to transfer from last year, and they come back, fill the gap with some great young players, and they defeat the men tonight. So Anderson men, winners on the road in game 1.
And I can't express enough when I talk to those girls, Sid Viss, a junior, and then Belly and Garner, seniors. the one thing I was most impressed about in that conversation is the way they all said the same thing. We celebrate each other. That's why I love to play here. Said we love the way we celebrate each other. We care about each other. We talk about unconditional love. They said, in here at Hope College, I found my friends I can do that with. And it's translated in the court. It's translated to wins for them. But that was really cool in all of those conversations to hear each of them say, this is what we all share in common, is this love we have for how much we care about this team and how much we care about holding each other accountable.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a team in the nation, and we see a few of them, that really has more fun and more smiles on their face and just more relaxed bunch than Brian Morehouse's team on a year in and year out basis. To your point, Matt, they enjoy the culture. They really enjoy playing together, and it really shows. They make a lot of noise, kind of an intimidating factor when you're playing here at DeVos where they don't lose too much. But I just want to harp on the fact of how much they seem to enjoy it.
That's right. You can't talk enough about what Coach Morehouse has built over the last 20-some-odd seasons, over 700 wins now, and the respect he has in the coaching world is unprecedented, and he's earned all that. We just got a little bit of time here before the national anthem. Let's take a minute to talk a second about this Wilmington team. The Quakers were 6-18 last year in a very challenging Ohio Athletic Conference.
Yeah, they really were. OAC is always great for basketball, men, women. There's 10 teams in the league. They finished 9th last year, and it's a team that's rebuilding. They bring back the player of the year in the OAC as far as defensive player of the year in Cassidy Lovett. She was a second-team all-conference, but then, they've got some experience back, not a lot of productive experience back for second-year head coach Sydney Moss. So they'll have some struggles. They'll win a few games in their conference, maybe a few games in the non-conference portion of their schedule. But they're led by, let's start at the top. Sydney Moss, a former freshman of the year in the SEC when she was with the University of Florida as a player. Now to take those talents and transfer as a coach. And Matthew, you're a coach. You know how hard that is. It's easier said than done.
I know, and that's always a really cool thing. It's something Coach Cuss and I have always related on, is how, when you're done with your career, how does that translate into coaching? And even with the conversation with Olivia and Sydney, they were talking about, down the road when I'm a coach, how will these things that I'm experiencing translate into the way that I approach coaching and teaching, as they're both education majors. Like you said, a lot of respect to Coach Sydney Moss. And I think just like that, Mike, like I said, no place I'd rather be, but let's take a quick break for the national anthem. We'll send it over to Darren Deishmars. Be right back here.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America with the singing of our national anthem, please welcome Hope College Junior, Miss Mary Krause.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary Krause. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here on the campus of Hope College for today's non-league contest between the Quakers of Wilmington College and your Hope College Flying Dutch. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the Quakers at 1 forward, a 5'6" senior from Reynoldsburg, Ohio, number 10, Kai Walker. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 5'10" junior from Byron Center, number 25, Sydney Viss. At 1 forward for the Quakers, a 5'10" sophomore from Bellefontaine, Ohio, number 5, Stephanie Altstetter. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutch, a 6'1" sophomore from Hudsonville, number 34, Maddie Petrulia. Starting at center for the Quakers, a 5'10" sophomore from Medway, Ohio, number 23, Gabby Russell. And at center for the Flying Dutch, a 6' senior from Fishers, Indiana, number 44, Courtney Lee. At 1 guard for the Quakers, a 5'5" senior from Washington Courthouse, Ohio, number 3, Cassidy Lovett. And at 1 guard for the Flying Dutch, a 5'6" senior from Midland, number 11, Jada Garner. And at the final guard spot for the Quakers, a 5'4" freshman from Taylor Mill, Kentucky, number 30, Sierra McCoyne. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutch, a 5'6" senior from Lake City, number 23, Olivia Bellows. The Quakers are coached by Sydney Moss. The Flying Dutch are coached by Brian Morehouse. Your officials this evening, Amanda Callahan, Tom Berry, and Randy Reese.
I said going live. Whoever got next is fine with us. I ain't gonna let that slide.
Back here at DeVos, Matt Wayner, Mike Coleman for the kickoff for the Hope women's basketball season here in DeVos Fieldhouse. The 6-18 Wilmington Quakers from last season. They started off their season as well, and like we were talking about, that Ohio Athletic Conference, very competitive last year. That's a conference that Marietta, Baldwin, Wallace, Ohio Northern all made the national tournament. To have 3 teams represent your conference is pretty impressive. But they do return starters as well as Cassidy Lovett. Cassidy Lovett, 14 points a game last year. I'm sure she'll be the hot hand for them as well. Here's Courtney Lee matching up with Stephanie Altstetter.
Altstetter, one of the players of note, 10 points and 7 rebounds as a sophomore, as a freshman last year. So they bring back 80% of their offense to the Quakers.
And that's Garner leading off here. Top of the key, Courtney Lee, ill-advised pass down there. Trying to get it to Maddie Petrulia. Maddie Petrulia, the transfer like we talked about from Hudsonville High School.
Not often we get a D1 transfer to D3, and not a lot of playing time with Loyola Chicago, but immediate impact. She's starting this basketball game.
Well, and I'll be the one to beat a dead horse, but transfer portal, am I right, Mike?
My goodness, where do you start? That's like Christmas present the last few years.
Yeah, no kidding.
College basketball interesting.
Hey, and if you're a Hope women's volleyball fan, same thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
Got a couple of D1 kickbacks on. The miss there by Russell. Rebound, and here comes Belly across half court setting up offense. You know, something Olivia Bellows talked about. She said she's really trying to work on finishing with her left this year. Something last year she was able to beat a lot of the defenders to the right to finish, and she's trying to work on that left side. But the miss was there by Lee, and now here's some Dutchman defense.
Yeah, Courtney Lee fronting Wilmington up top, and that forced a mislaid pass. So good defense by the Dutch early.
Comes Sid Viss driving. She's going to be fouled. I believe that foul is going to be on Lovett. So a little bit of the break in the action. Couple of turnovers early here. Something to expect. I believe it was said, was that Casey, who was on the van call, said 20 turnovers by Hope men's in that first game.
It was the game changer in that loss to Anderson. They just had 13 in the first half, and they just couldn't get over.
Well, it is November 8th, so I guess we'll give them a break for now as Belly gets a lot of pressure there by a combination Altstetter and Sierra McCoyne. McCoyne, the freshman from Taylor Mill, Kentucky.
Yeah, we'll see how the newbies respond. I think more prominently for Wilmington, the newbie department, is the way their upper leaders, bringing back 80% of the offense, responds in a new season.
A great take by Viss, an offensive rebound by Courtney Lee. And the ball scrounging around there as Viss gets the ball back. Here's Belly, crossover, up and under, can't get it to go. Rebound is brought down by Russell.
Sorry, Matt, crossover, like you said, went to her left, just couldn't finish, but a great move by the second team all MIAA guard.
It's McCoy going the other way. Dishes it off to Russell. Russell driving, another turnover, and that's Petrolia. Here's Viss in transition. Up with her right, and she is fouled on the way up by Kai Walker.
How about the strength of Sid Viss? She reminds me of Sydney Muller from a couple years ago. They both have the same frame. They're fearless down low, and she takes it right to the rack.
Yeah, she's so confident and comfortable. She was talking to me about being able to have that experience playing with her brothers growing up. Some really good ball players in that family.
That's got to factor into your aggressiveness. That's like you're a small fish in a big pond. You gotta try and survive.
Hey, I was the youngest of 6. I had some older brothers push me around. I mean, that's how you learn toughness, right? As Viss gets those 2 free throws to go and the first 2 points for this Dutchman team in the 24 season.
I did not know that, Matt Weiner.
I think we'll get to know each other pretty well this season. Mr. Michael Coleman. There's the drive by Walker. Turnover. Garner. Something she does so well as she gets past Lovett for a 2 and rattles it home.
Takes it coast to coast. Garner's not going to get you 15, 18, 20 points a game. She'll do it on occasion. She'll get double figures, but she gives you steals, rebounds, good defense, court awareness, floor leader.
And that's what's great about them being able to honor her as the all MIAA is the stats didn't show it.
Right.
However, everybody was able to recognize how important she was. And here's Viss. Her first 3, why not? Ooh. Why not? Hot as a $2 pistol.
She can hit that shot. She's miss inside, and we just saw miss outside.
Here's Lovett driving on Bella. Great defense there by Olivia Bellows. Rebound by Petrolia. She's bringing the ball up with the pressure by Lovett there on ball. Bellows driving on the right. Beats Coyne. Contested shot, and Lee, once again, she's attacking that offensive glass. And they're going to need her to do that a lot this year.
That's one of her strong points. Raven Jemison, who's gone this year, but Courtney Lee will get you that second effort. She's got a deft touch down low, too.
They're going to need a lot from Lee here. Play a lot of those 5 minutes as they discover who that backup 5 is going to be, missing Jemison from last year. Cross-court pass, that's Coyne for 2, nothing but nylon.
Beautiful, beautiful stroke.
I said the freshman from Taylor Mill, Kentucky. Starting her first basketball game. Bellows thought she got fouled on the way up by Walker. Walker, baseball pass in traffic. Rattles off of Lovett's hands. There's Coyne. The 3 is just deep. Rebound by Petrolia. Here comes Garner pushing it across the timeline. Beats Walker on the dribble, up and under. She's fouled on the way up.
You've got 2 guards for Hope College. You've got Jada Garner and you've got Olivia Bellows. They're slashers. You have to respect that. So you back up, they can bury the 3, so they can just find a way to find a seam inside or outside.
So let's see if we can get the load of subs that just came in. Hockey subs for Coach Morehouse, like always. I see Garner staying in there, and that looks like Leach, Lauren Leach in there. That's number 20. Leah Richards, the freshman. And her sister as well, Anna Richards.
Right, 2 freshmen from Lansing Catholic.
The twins from Lansing Catholic.
Yeah.
And I've only heard good things about them so far as they're playing early. And of course, Chloe Brunsberg, the sharpshooter from Minnesota in the ball game. And there's Taryn Maynor sparing Garner. So it looks like this might be the first set of that second 5 we're going to see. Maynard and Leach with the most experience. Brunsberg played about 12 last year, 12 a game. So, and then the 2 freshmen, the Richards.
Richards won a state title with Lansing Catholic their junior season. And they committed 2 years ago to Hope, so they're making things happen as a freshman right away.
We'll see if we can get these subs in for Wilmington, as Lovett with a nice bucket down there. Let's see if we can collect those through. That's Richards on the right side. Going around the timeline now for Hope. It'll take me a half to see if I can get the Richards twins, see if I can differentiate them. But Lo and behold.
Could be worse. They could be wearing the same number.
So in there for Wilmington, it looks like that's number 12, Elia Mew, freshman from Xenia. Lovett's on ball with Maynard. And Maynard can't get that to go. As well, fun fact here for you, Mike, is they're trying to see who's going to get possession. That's going to be Wilmington possession. Our fun fact, Taryn Maynard actually also going to play softball this year.
Is that right?
Sophomore year, yeah. So she'll be on the Hope softball team as we're going to have our first timeout of the contest. Looks like that timeout is going to be a 30-second timeout called by Wilmington, I believe. But we'll stay here and talk for a second, Mike. 10-4 is the Hope College lead. Yeah, so it looks like that second five looks like the Richards twins, Brunsburg, Maynard, Leach. Is that right? Yeah. Maynard and Leach.
Correct. And you saw Brunsburg and Maynard and Leach, not so much Leach, but those two play a lot last year together in that second five. Maynard as a freshman got a lot of playing minutes. And I think it's going to take a couple games for the Richards twins to get comfortable. College basketball a little bit completely different, I should say, than the high school realm. But, you know, what I like about this team is they have so much height off the bench, too. You got the guards who can penetrate. You got the tallest team that I've ever seen. Doesn't always translate to a win, but yeah, they'll whip them into great rebounders, and it's a good thing to have.
And I can't help but think, Mike, when I think like a coach, you know, in the broadcast booth, I can't help but say, when you have a team that's this deep, you just don't feel the pressure. You're able to trust your teammates. You're able to love your teammates and able to say, hey, they're going to pick me up when I need to. Something else that Sid and Olivia and Jada said a lot is, hey, if I don't have my best game, I expect Olivia to. I expect Sydney to. And that's a huge identity for this team. And that's going to be a way where maybe the Richards twins aren't going to have to carry the load as much as freshmen because they can learn from those seniors.
Yeah, that's a great point. And Hope College, with that depth, to your point, Matt, they just wear teams down in the fourth quarter. We saw it time and time again last year.
So Maynard just a little bit too much on the body for Elia Mew, the freshman. So that's going to be Maynard's first foul. They love to pick up at half court. A lot of on-ball pressure. Hope traditionally always been in man-to-man. They've always had the foot speed. It's been able to help them. That's going to be a turnover on Wilmington on Natalie Rupp, the sophomore.
And you saw that turnover on the wing on the far side. Hope, like you talked about, Matt, they love putting pressure on the wings, contesting that, forcing the point guard to make a move in the inside where she's swallowed up by the bigs.
Now, offensively, it looks like, Mike, it's just been a whole lot of getting spacey, a lot of dribble drive stuff, ball screens, and that's a nice pass down to Richards, who can't get that to go. She gets her own rebound. Richards fouled on the way up by Rupp. So she's got a chance for her first Dutchman points. That's the freshman. Leah Richards is going to be the taller of the two.
And she just worked baseline coming from the opposite side, got position, used her right side to shield herself, missed it, but stick to it in this to get the offensive rebound, second effort.
Miss on the first by Richards. I'm doing my best at the foul line, Mike. I'm trying to cue in on the shoes for each team. You know, Hope traditionally always kind of played in white or gray. I'm trying to see that pair of LeBrons that it looks like Rupp is wearing, the all pink.
I'll take your word for it. I forgot my glasses, so I just see gray haze.
Oh, don't forget your glasses next game, Mike. I need you.
No doubt.
Travel down here, play two. Yeah, travel down here. You call 2 games, forget your glasses.
It's a bit of a commute. I won't tell you how far.
Richards gets the rebound. Here's Maynard in transition. Out to Brunsburg. Thinks about it. Around the wing, back to Richards. Again, and here's on the left side, Leach trying to get a step on her defender. Dishes out Brunsburg for 3. Off the mark. Rebound brought down by Sierra Coyne.
But a good kick out. Good look right at the end of the shot clock. Everything you wanted.
It is. And what you can see in this first game, Mike, it just looks like they're just a tad slow. But this group has played, what, the last 5 minutes?
That's right.
I mean, they've been in there a long time.
I would argue they've played more than the 5 starters. Just Brian Morehouse trying to give them a feel of this game. But both teams kind of feeling each other out. The shooting hasn't been great. A few more turnovers than both coaches would like early on.
So Elia Mew getting the ball in. And wow, a nice steal by Lauren Leach. doing her Darrell Revis impression on that interception. Leach to Richards for 3, thought about it, to her sister. Back to Anna, driving, out to Leah for 3. Yeah! Her first buckets in the Dutchman uniform.
How good does that feel in the first quarter? Making her first 3 ball, nothing but net.
With an assist from your sister?
How about
That's pretty
that?
fun.
I bet they've done that a few times.
Yeah, their love and joy on the court's gonna make me want to call my brother after the game. Reunite.
Let's all call our brothers after
Let's
the
all
game.
call our brothers. Say, hey.
How many you got? I know you got 5 siblings.
4 brothers.
Okay, there we go. You
And a
might
sister. I was the youngest.
You
Yeah.
might be on the phone a while. I got 3, so I hear you.
Here's Lovett across timeline. Maynard still on ball. Lovett yet to get going. She's hounded by Maynard. She gets a step. Little crossover is nice, but not enough. Rebound brought down by Brunsberg and a kick out to Maynard. Maynard so impressed by her quickness. I thought that all last year. I mean, she earned so much playing time. She's so good at beating the defender off ball, and she keeps her eyes up so well to get that kick out.
Yeah, for a freshman player last year, those are all great attributes. She is so strong. She's the crossover move as well, and she's got good, I wouldn't say blazing speed, but she's so quick. There's a big difference between the two, and now she's being rewarded at the free throw line.
So now we got the starter. Viss is back in the game. Maynard misses the front end. So it's Viss, Leach, Leah Richards, Chloe Brunsberg, and Maynard in there now for Hope College. Maynard gets the second to go.
We might have to go L Rich and A Rich. I mean, come up with some abbreviation. I've always wondered about that when you have, 2 last names.
It's one thing I learned from baseball locker rooms. You can't force nicknames.
That's
you got to
true.
let nicknames happen.
What was yours?
I don't think I can share that information. We'll let the guest remember what my last name is,
Indeed.
and use their imagination. Here comes Wilmington on the other side. And that's a 3-point attempt by Bailey Edelman, the sophomore from Denison. It's gonna be Hope College going the other way. Richards for 3. That's Leah. Oh, her second.
How about that stroke from the 6'2" freshman?
It looks good. Looks good coming out of her hand. And that's going to be huge for the Dutch if she ends up being a stretch 5 that's able to hit that 3 when they need her to.
That's a unicorn right there when you have a stretch 5.
Ooh, that's a nice little teardrop there by the freshman Mew. And 18-6 is your Hope College lead. Leah Richards handling the ball. Maynard just gets right by him. She's pushed in the back by Olivia Trusty, a sophomore from Bellbrook, Ohio.
I want to say Wilmington doing pretty well as far as the aggressive nature of their defense, but that time Maynard was just able to use that sleigh hand and was able to shoot by 3 green jerseys. So the speed of Maynard factored in, even though it was a pretty good defensive play.
So that's Bellows, Courtney Lee, and Maddie Petrulia back in the ball game now. Maynard gets the front end.
6 of 9 for Hope from the free throw line so far in the first quarter, as the Quakers yet to go to the free throw line.
So Leah Richards gets a break, but she leads all scorers with 7 so far. The second one doesn't go. That's a rebound there by Altstetter. Sierra Coyne handling the ball. Nice dish to Altstetter. She forces that one in with her strength.
That's a great find, though. McCoyne was able to find that and threaded that defense. Just found that little seam enough to have a good shot attempt.
This hounded, and that's going to be a foul there by Bailey Edelman.
Away from the basketball, some extracurricular on the near side.
Oh, was that not on Edelman?
It was. It was just. Was she on ball?
She was on ball, yeah.
I told you I forgot my glasses, yeah.
Well,
there we go.
Hey, first game of the year, I'll let it slide. But if you're going to make that 3-hour drive, no glasses, I might have to call it myself, okay?
Don't tell my bride, Tammy Chase, listening back up in Empire, or theoretically, always appreciate her support.
We might not know if Steve and Freddie might not have us back after this one, so it's been nice knowing you.
You've been disposed. As my old boss used to say, you're doing a great job, you're just doing it all wrong.
Great. Pass and transitions just off the hands of Allstetter, but that's a great look. I like the aggressive look there by Mew. 21-8 is the Hope College lead. We got 1:25 to play here in the first. Garner back in to set things up.
Sydney Moss, head coach for Wilmington, 2 national championships as a player, 1 as a coach. She knows about winning.
As Garner gets that easy 2 to go. Yeah, I'm excited to see where she turns this program around in her career. I just have so much respect when you've seen it played at the highest level like she has. You just learn so much. And that's a 3-point attempt off the mark by Trusty. Could be an offensive rebound by Edelman. And a nice dish down to Allstetter. She chucks one up and she's fouled on the way up. They're going to get Courtney Lee on that foul.
Allstetter, one of the young players, the sophomore, 9.5 points, 7 rebounds. And we talk about the youth of the team in a rebuilding year for Sydney Moss. They have 1 senior and 1 junior on this squad. That is as young as they come.
And I think when you're early in your career as a coach, you gotta take the wins with the losses. You can't always think about that. You got to think, are we growing? Especially you got to be able to share with your athletic director. These are the things we're doing. These are the things we're continuing to get better. And because at the end of the day, you can't expect yourself to go on the road and always stay in games with teams like Hope College, but how can you showcase the improvement and the plan that you have as a Division III team?
Yeah, that's all good stuff. I mean, if you have the work ethic and the aggressiveness and the discipline, things fall into place, and experience can really help things as they get to that next level.
Bellows blows by Mew, but she's blocked on the way up by Edelman. Great help side defense there.
Yeah, really is. Now, we're seeing that the Hope point guards and the guards are winning the battle off the dribble, but we're seeing the good help side, and that's a perfect example of the Quakers on the backside.
Like I said, something Bellows said she's been working on. She's worked with that left a couple of times, beating her defender to the basket. Just hasn't had the opportunity to finish just yet, and that's going to be a foul on the ground by Allstetter. I think they're going to give her a break on the bench. She's got her second, the starter. So that's Rupp coming in.
It is.
The sophomore from Milan, Indiana. I hate to interrupt, but Milan, Indiana, that's a lot of good basketball there.
Oh.
Something you got to know about me, Indiana people know how to shoot. If you're from Indiana, you know how to shoot a basketball.
I'll take your word for it. Jimmy made it in Hoosiers.
Yeah.
I can make you, Coach.
And hey, I mean, that's what you got to grow up. I mean, that's the Bible for us.
I didn't know are you from Indiana?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Grew up with a basketball in my carriage growing up.
Nice. I had a little mini Nerf hoop in my room and then graduated to the real thing.
Deep 2, the David West shot there by Olivia Trusty is off the mark. Ooh, there's Petrolia. Yeah. She's confident, and she nails it. 6 seconds to go here. Mew can't see the clock, doesn't realize it, as that's the end of the first quarter. Yeah, I think they just weren't able to see the clock there. That was a little confusing last 10 seconds there as Petrolia hits the 3 and just no sense of urgency by Wilmington. I think they lost the shot clock or they didn't see it. So 27-9 is that Hope College lead. I think that's our cue to take a quick break, and we'll be back to break down that first quarter here in a couple.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
Back here at DeVos, Mike Coleman, Matt Wayner, here on this call at DeVos Fieldhouse. 27-9 is the Hope College lead early. There's the starters back in now for Wilmington, the Quakers. At the start here of the second quarter, Mike, does anything jump off the page to you from that first quarter?
It does. The first thing I noticed, 7 turnovers for Wilmington has led to 10 Hope College Flying Dutch points, and that's what they do. They force the turnover, they make you pay, and that's a signature stat move by them in the first quarter. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, I've watched a lot of Hope women's basketball. I'm always so impressed by as Bellows is going to get called on ball for her foul. I think that's her first.
It is, yes.
I'm most impressed, Mike, by how quietly Hope can just get up and control a game. I mean, I haven't felt like they've played exceptionally well for a team that's currently up 18 in this ball game.
I agree.
Vis gets a hand on that. They're just kind of a boa constrictor in that way.
Yeah, great point. I mean, you look at the minutes in this one, and it's about even between the first 5 and the second 5, which is interesting in the fact that we've got an 18-point lead with the second 5 getting a good chunk of minutes in that first 10 minutes.
So Lovett gets the ball into Kai Walker. It's around the horn. That's to Rupp. Rupp driving, gets a step on Petrulia, but the rebound's brought down by Lee. And here's Garner going the other way. Petrulia, Bellows, corner 3. Yeah, she loves it.
Oh, big rainbow for Bellows. We saw a bit of that last year.
Too much room for her. She was the spark plug off the bench. Now she's a starter. And I talked to her about that a little bit. She's arguing a little bit on that's going to be her second foul. So she's probably going to have to take a seat on the bench. And Brooklyn Roback is going to get her first minutes for this Hope team.
You know, Matt, Olivia Bellows, it's kind of odd that you have somebody off the bench be your second leading scorer. She averaged over 10 points a game, 37% from the long arc, and to make second team all MIAA with that credential, not being a starter. You don't see that too often. That just shows her ability to be lightning in a bottle.
I talked to her a little about that. You know, she mentioned she was like, I just love it. I love basketball. I love to play with a spark. I don't care how much I play. I just want to impact the game whenever I can. And that's a great three-point try there by Kai Walker for Wilmington. A nice little rainbow 3 as here's Garner going the other way.
And isn't that Bellows' philosophy the same for this Hope team? You've got strength and productivity in numbers. There's no big superhero on this ball club.
It's just
really
short,
is.
and it looks like she got bumped. She's struggling to get up. We might have an injury timeout here, but Walker gets the 2 to go on the other end, and Vis is writhing in pain.
Matt, we saw Marcus Warman to go down early in the second half in the men's game, played a couple minutes, did not return, and Sydney Vis is holding her right ankle.
Yeah, and Sid Vis, like we said, one of the toughest players out here on the court. So you know that's got to hurt pretty bad. She's been holding her ankle. I didn't know if that was ankle or knee on her way down. So we got an injury timeout here at DeVos.
Well, maybe we will take a timeout, step aside, quick 30, and we'll be right back if that's okay, Matt. We'll send it back to the studio. This is Hope College women's basketball on the Hope Sports Network.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget, Louie the Lightkeeper, to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
My name is Megan Bigelow, and during my time there, I was on the Hope women's soccer team. I decided to choose Hope because of the opportunity to be involved in multiple things. I didn't want to go somewhere where I was just a number in the field. I was able to double major, experience both a business academic load as well as economics. I loved the opportunity to really get to know my professors. Hope exceeded my expectations.
I'm Nate Bauman. As an invested community partner, we're proud to help share Hope's stories of transformational impact.
Back here at DeVos, and Sid Vis able to make it off the court on her own, which you love to see. She's helped off. So that's Roback, Brunsberg, Garner, Petrulia for 3 now on the left corner, nothing but net. She picks up that load, and that was scary to see. Like we said, Sid Vis so tough. as she makes her way off the court on her own, and we're hoping that that's maybe just an ankle sprain and nothing worse.
We hope so. Leading scorer coming back from last year.
It's Kai Walker. She's starting to get going there for Wilmington. A couple of really nice shots. There's Walker now with 7 points, leads Wilmington scoring. Here's Roback in the paint. She's down. Lee for an easy 2, just off the mark. Brunsburg tries to get that rebound, but it's Rupp now going the other way for Wilmington. The corner, that's a good 3 try there. It's by Olivia Trusty, but that's going to be a Brunsburg rebound. Here comes Hope. Roback thinks about it, gets some space to work, banks home a 2-pointer.
Bank works. I haven't seen a bank shot since the Reagan administration. You don't see that too often.
No, did you hear my reference? I was talking about 2011 Pacers David West on that D2. He loved that 18-foot jump shot just in front of the three-point line.
Wow, that is a great pull. Yes, great
Roback,
description.
nice pass out to Brunsburg. Thinks about a 3. Picks it up, drives, and up and under as Brunsburg can't get it to go. Gets her own rebound. Here's Roback for 3. Off the mark. And the rebound brought down by Trusty.
Boy, Petrulia went down hard. The transfer from Loyola Chicago for Hope.
Kai Walker trying to get something going, and there's a 3-point try by Rupp. Off the mark, rebound brought down by Brunsburg. First game of the year. You can see how tired everybody is.
Yes, I was just going to say, a lot of energy being expounded on the court right now.
But Garner doesn't care, and she'll put that 3 down, so Sydney Moss going to have to take a timeout, think things over. 38-16, Hope College lead. We'll take a 30.
Hope students are challenged to dig deeper. They're challenged to find their calling and shape their future. They're taught to empower their talents, chase their dreams, and encouraged to make a difference. The Hope student body is ready to change the world.
Back here at DeVos, Matt Wayner, Mike Coleman. Hey, Mike, 38-16. That's the Hope College lead with 6:51 to play here. Like we said, I mean, it's November 8th, so we got a lot. We got to work out our kinks, you and I, as well as them on the court, is looking a little bit tired from both ends, a little bit undisciplined. But you can see the bones of a Hope College team that has a lot of depth.
That's a lot of bones to cover, too. And it's true. I mean, we were just talking in our brief 30-second commercial. Petrulia and Richards, 2 bigs at 6'2", they've combined to go 4 for 4 from the 3-point line.
That's a nightmare. To have to guard them out there, to have the cutting ability of Bellows, Vis, to come off that, to say you have to guard me. You have to guard me at 20 feet, and guess what? I just had a really fast Bellows cut in the middle for an easy 2. That's going to be a nightmare to guard.
It's a lot to draw off on, and I'd hate to be the opposing coach.
Kai Walker bringing it up now as Maynard's guarding her, and that's Anna Richards on ball now. Anna Richards, Leah Richards, Brunsburg, Maynard, Leach. It's that second 5 in here. Here's Trusty driving. That one's too strong. Rupp gets the rebound. She picks up her dribble, though, and they're going to get her on a travel call. So another Wilmington turnover.
That's number 8 on the night for Wilmington, but too bad for Rupp, but Hope College just lost possession. They had 2 aggressive rebounders just run into each other, so you can't fault the effort.
Maynard leading offense for that second 5 here. Leach with the high ball screen. Maynard trying to come off it. She dribble drives. She gets some space. Dishes out. Brunsburg, 3-pointer. She's getting going.
And that's a perfect example of Maynard drawing 4 green jerseys, had presence of mind to kick it out topside key, nothing but 3.
I just can't help but think, I mean, with how much Hope basketball we watch, as that's the just off the mark by Trusty. Here's Hope going the other way. You just got to think, these other teams think, what an embarrassment of riches for Hope to have all these players that can shoot 3s. That's a turnover off of Leah Richards' hands into the hands of Rupp.
That is a great description, embarrassment of riches, and that's a fact. I mean, you know, a lot of teams shoot 3s, but if you've got the ability night in and night out, that is a bonus weapon.
Tough cross-court pass, but in the hands of Lovett. Lovett up. She's blocked by Richards.
Tough night
Maynard,
for Lovett so
too
far.
fast, going the other way. A nice pass to Anna Richards. That one just rattles out. Rebound is brought down by Russell. Kai Walker, too tough. Rebound by Brunsberg. Brunsberg slows it up here. 41-16, that's your Hope College lead. They're controlling the tempo now with 5 to play. Around the horn, Richards back to Anna. Thought about it from 23 feet.
Had a notion for a moment.
Good cut by Brunsberg, and it looks like Kai Walker's going to get called for the foul on the slash and cut by Brunsberg.
I like Walker's game. She averaged over 11 points a game last year, second on the team. Slashy guard and like Hope. And is she having an injury?
No, she.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, she was.
Walker's just cleaning up some perspiration. She's right in front of Kai Walker for Wilmington was right in front of her bench cleaning up some perspiration. She was bent over. I thought maybe she was having.
She was about to get sick, it looked like.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
She was holding herself back. And
gotcha.
She looks like she's okay, and she's back in the game.
Well, it's been fast-paced. I mean, everyone seems like they're trying to run a fast break every possession.
Beautiful pass by Walker. Down to Allstetter. Allstetter gets the 2 to go. They give each other a little love on the way back. Here's Maynard going the other way. Dish out Leach for 3. That's a nice looking shot that just rims out. Rebound brought down by Anna Richards. So Anna Richards fouled. I think that one's going to be on the floor. And Sierra McCoy back in the ball game now.
Is this one of those games where I get the feeling that you're kind of playing your way into shape right now because the action is so cardio heavy? There hasn't been a lot of half-court offense. It's just been helter-skelter.
Well, and like you said in the first quarter, Anna Richards misses that first one, gets her own rebound again. I mean, Morehouse is playing the second 5 so much more because he wants to find out what he's got there, and then you can't blame him. Wilmington going the other way. Rebound brought down by Leah Richards.
I think a lot of folks are curious every year to see who that second 5 is going to be.
Maynard fouled really hard her way up. They're going to get Rupp on the foul. That'll be her second. A little slow to get up, and you hope this is doing okay. Like I said, I mean, your leading scorer from last year. Hope that that's nothing too serious. And you hate to say it this way, Mike, but for it to happen on November 8th, like you say, if it's a short-term injury, can she get healthy come middle of December when you're really going to need her in conference play?
Great point. Is there ever a time for a good injury, especially for a productive player? No. Sometimes the timing can be beneficial, and really what it comes down to is MIAA play starting late December, January.
And a team that is going to have their hands full with Calvin and Trine this year, that's for sure. Wilmington going the other way. They just beat Hope to the basket pretty easily. And Gabby Russell gets that too. 43-20 now. Here's Maynard. Bellows beats McCoy off the dribble easily with her right. Here's Lovett pushing the pressure the other way. Beating Bellows to the basket. She does. And Lovett now. She's only got 4 so far. Leading scorer from last year. Maynard. Cross-court pass. Bellows for 3 off the mark.
How about that hook pass on the near side out to Bellows? That's like eyes on the side of your head, court awareness. That you can't teach that. That is innate.
And it's great strength and ball control. It makes me think of, as we're getting in this timeout, I'll share a story about that cross-court pass when we get back. We'll leave them hanging. How about that, Mike?
That's called a teaser in the radio television business.
We'll be back in 30.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Back at the boss. We'll get back to that teaser. 45-22 is the Hope College lead. That cross-court pass reminds me, back in my day, you remember Jason Beckman, Hope College star.
How could you forget?
We used to meet in the Dow Center. He would just practice cross-court 20-foot passes just with his right. Try to work off 3 fingers, see how much he could get dexterity on the ball. And he had a fantastic career here. He was able to play 6 years overseas in France. Just retired last year.
6 already, 6 years already. Sorry.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Wow.
He was a 50, 40, 90 guy at Hope College in 2018-19. And a fantastic career overseas. Played as long as he wanted to, and now he's training players over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So shout out to Jason Beckman. Wonderful player here. Still in the game, still coaching full time.
That is, I love hearing stories about former players, and he always said, I just want to play professional basketball. Well, he filled his dream. He had one of the best work ethics I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. He was a big believer in that Mamba mentality. Really passed that on to the next generation of Hope College basketball players. I mean, I was so impressed with his work ethic and how much, he committed to his craft was really quite inspiring. Something some of these players have as well. As you see, Bellows gets a couple of free throws to go. She's on ball now with Sierra McCoy.
And interesting you say that, Matt, because you see players, especially from their freshman to their sophomore year, from a physical standpoint, the metamorphosis is so increased. It's great to see. That shows you the ethic is there for the programs.
A nice pass by Lovett. Finds the open Allstetter. I love that pass. At her right in the middle. Here's Maynard going the other way. With this second 5, you got to admit, Wilmington's played pretty competitively.
I think they got a great trifecta in Allstetter and Lovett and Walker, among others. That's a good trio combination.
Bellows gets space, but she can't get the 3 to go. They're going to get Maynard, their hands all over Lovett.
How about that battle? Maynard and Lovett, they've been going at it the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Those such strong guards, not on the taller side, but so much strength for point guards, as Garner's going to give Maynard a break.
And it doesn't get any easier for Lovett, as Garner, one of the better defenders in the MIAA, trying to work on the leading scorer from last year in Lovett, who's just 4 points tonight at 2 of 5 shooting.
Here's Wilmington going the other way, but it's going to be stolen by Olivia Bellows. She's crossing up Lovett now. Like you said, they just keep going at each other. Lovett's going to get called for the foul on the hands. She didn't like that one. They're kind of mirrors of each other.
They are.
In a couple of ways.
A different uniform.
Yeah.
That
you can see even their expressions when fouls are called. It's comical. But they're both quick and shifty. So good on-ball defenders. Such good on-ball defenders.
Yeah, well said. This Quaker Ball Club is going to win some games this year. They really are. I did not take a deep look into their non-conference schedule. I believe they play Calvin coming up, too. That'll be a good test. And so to play teams like Calvin and Hope College, and then they've got, like you said, Baldwin Wallace and among other teams in their conference. This will definitely help them down the road in this 24-25 season.
Bellows gets a couple of free throws to go. Got 2 to play until halftime. Here's McCoy bringing the ball up. McCoy, somebody we've said her name a lot. I'm excited to see what her career ends up being in 4 years, as that shot's just off the mark by Lovett. Rebound brought down by Leach. McCoy's played really well. She's handled the ball well, been good on ball. But she's guarding Garner here. Leach for 3. That one's strong. It's in the hands of Russell going the other way. Russell gets it to Rupp. Rupp, nice. Body control. Up and under.
We've seen several of those tonight. And to your point, Matt, when I see a player that impresses, I will follow them the rest of the year. I'll check box scores to see how they do.
That's a missed 2-point opportunity by Richards. Rebound is brought down. That's a new face in there. Looks like for Hope College, her first minutes, Grayson Guy, sophomore from Petoskey, Michigan.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of her last year. Another big that Coach Morehouse in his 29th season, by the way, can install in this offense. And Petoskey, beautiful town just on the bay.
So she's in and out in 1 minute, as that's Lee back in the ball game now. Here's McCoy. Gives it a look. Off the mark. Rebound brought down by Lee. Gardner now dribbling the other way. She's got room to work. Dishes out. That's Petrolia for 3, and it's strong. Richards almost gets the rebound.
I didn't know what to think of Petrolia coming in. I didn't know much about her game, but I've been impressed with her perimeter game for a big.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's strong. She knows what she's doing. She's always in the right spot, it seems. Like you said, I mean, that shot is pretty. Hope just has so many shooters. Roback out. Richards needs this one to go, and she can't. She's been frustrated early in her first contest. And that one rattles around. Lovett's able to get that one. She's going the other way. Off the hands of Petrolia into Rupp's hands, and they're going to get Rupp for a travel call.
Yeah, tough break. We're seeing a lot of penetration by Wilmington, carrying on the characteristics of the Hope Guards. They've got the strength in that as well. I love the back cuts down low. They've had 4 or 5 plays down low where they have employed a good look down low because of that back cut.
Garner dishes off to Petrolia. Petrolia with a dribble handoff. I think they got a moving ball screen call on Petrolia at the top of the key.
Maybe a little makeup call from that non-call for Wilmington on their top scorer, Cassidy Lovett. Just a theory I'm working on, Matt.
Lovett's going to take a seat on the bench. And that's Mew back in the ball game now. There's Mew handling the ball. Roback on ball here as we're about to expire for halftime off the mark. That's Lee out in transition. Time expires. Richards can't get that one to go. 49-28 is the Hope College lead. Let's stay here for just a moment because we'll have a 15-minute halftime as we talk about that first half. 49 points for Hope College. I'll say that's about what I expected, Mike. Except to me, I think Wilmington showed a lot more promise than I was expecting.
All true on both counts. You knew Hope was probably going to put up some big offense, and they got volume. They got 38 shots in the first half, 19 three-pointers, so they were firing from the long line. But Wilmington, you know, they outshot Hope percentage-wise, 37% to 34. Not good in the 3-ball, just 1 of 7, but they got a lot of points in the key. And they actually outgained points in the paint on Hope in the first half. We talked about that back ball cut, getting some baskets, but other than turnovers, which wasn't bad, they were out-rebounded. But I think overall, I think you're right. You would have to be pleasantly surprised if you're Sidney Moss of a young club on the road, seeing some positive things here in Game 1.
That's right, Mike. And you and I have a long season ahead of us. We'll be calling both men's games and women's games together, so we'll be spending a lot of time together, have a lot of talking points to go over, and hopefully sometimes we'll have the ability to interview some people at halftime, be able to talk about other Hope College sports. But for today, we're going to take a 14-minute break here. We'll be back right before that second half action.
Nice.
After all sports, like we'll have one of their head coaches come on and
Beautiful.
a few minutes. I don't think that Morehouse is going to end up being after the game. We might try in a couple.
Thank you. Yeah, that might be tough to crack.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget, Louie the Lightkeeper, to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
There are over 5,000 colleges and universities in the United States alone, and nearly every single one of them is named after a location or a historical figure. But along the shores of Lake Michigan, there is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is hope. It is so easy to get lost in what this world lacks, to become discouraged by its needs, gaps, and flaws. Can we see beyond the uncertainty and brokenness? At Hope College, we do. Not by ignoring the world as it is, but by learning and living with the belief that this is not the world as it should be, by driving to understand, to unlock clarity, to amplify truth, by leading with inspired compassion, by embodying a vision that illuminates greater opportunity for all, by serving with anchored conviction, using our collective gifts to offer this world what it needs most. Hope. Not simply hope as a desire, but hope as a way of being. Because hope has changed the way we see the world, and hope drives us to change the way the world is. Because hope shapes our calling. Because hope inspires our dreams. Because hope empowers our talents. Because hope frees us to try. Because hope transforms what we believe, transforms how we act, transforms who we are. At Hope College, we know this life-altering grace is a gift we have all been given, and it is the greatest gift we can offer the world. Hope transforms.
In our popular mythology, revolutions happen in Silicon Valley, right? But no, the revolution happened here.
I think we are starting a revolution. It's coming from a very strong sense of who we are. it's immediately creating a multi-generational community.
There's something magical happens when you shift from being a payer to being a giver.
Hope Forward has 58 students, I think, today-ish. You know, when we started in '94, we had 47. It's doable. What they're trying to do is doable. Getting people to believe early on is the hardest part.
It has given people a sense of belonging to a cause greater than themselves.
This can happen. This is possible, and we need each of you to be brand ambassadors for this initiative.
We're all aware of the crisis in American education. There are other crises as well that I think are linked to it. The second is the crisis facing our young people, the mental health crisis. And the third crisis is the crisis in our church. And when I look at what is happening here at this school, in this community, I see it as not just addressing the first of those crises, but all three of them.
The students are incredible, and the idea is incredible. Why not 30 years from now, this is the norm?
I've said this a million times, but who better than a place called Hope to run toward things that to the world look hopeless?
If I do it, then I'm doing it to death. Oh yeah, I'm influencing the ones that do it best. Oh yeah, started moving with the crew. You got a few, we got a slew. We trying to do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. I want more, I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bringing the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. To feel, now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I made something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just feel grateful though. I know where I come from, man, I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed, too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos, they don't ride to the death. We got the legacy, we got the hope, and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory, we want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory, the glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
My name's Emma Duttmers, and I'm a communications major, and then I'm minoring in environmental studies. I play soccer. The first soccer game of my junior year, I tore my ACL. Our athletic trainer, Annie, was there for me right when it happened, and she was there for me literally every step of the way. That was definitely a huge growing opportunity for me, and it was really hard, but it really pushed me to be a leader with more of my voice because I couldn't lead by example on the field. It definitely made me take a step back and realize how much there's to be grateful for.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to share hope stories of transformational impact.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
My name's Emma Duttmers, and I'm a communications major, and then I'm minoring in environmental studies. I play soccer. The first soccer game of my junior year, I tore my ACL. Our athletic trainer, Annie, was there for me right when it happened, and she was there for me literally every step of the way. That was definitely a huge growing opportunity for me, and it was really hard, but it really pushed me to be a leader with more of my voice because I couldn't lead by example on the field. It definitely made me take a step back and realize how much there's to be grateful for.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to share hope stories of transformational impact.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share hope stories of transformational impact.
Here at DeVos Fieldhouse. And Mike, when we're looking at this, looking into this third quarter, what are things from the first half that stood out to you most?
Well, I think Wilmington settled things down in the turnover department, a little more discipline in the second quarter. Hope didn't shoot the ball as well, but I think for the most part, you know, Hope's shooting pretty well from the long line. Wilmington not so much. So if they continue with that pace and Hope taking care of the basketball for the most part, just 6 turnovers, I think Hope will be just fine.
That's an early bucket by Bellows and an early bucket by Allstetter. Quick pace to move out. It's Hope moving with a lot of ambition across the timeline. Here's Bellows. She loses it. Turnover into the hands of Lovett. Lovett now pushing the other way. She gets it out. Allstetter, three-pointer. That one's off to the right and in the hands of Olivia Bellows.
You know, this is such a manic pace the whole game. The fact that Hope only has 7 turnovers in the first game of the season with this type of pace, that's a pretty good sign.
And with the Viss injury, that's Anna Richards, the freshman, that's starting the second half. Her three-pointers off the mark. Lee, a strong offensive rebound and putback. That's what she does best.
And I like how she created separation. Got the rebound on the right side, took one dribble left, created just a little bit of a gap, put it up. She's very good with both hands down low.
She's been great on the offensive glass all game. You see, she's got 6 rebounds so far this game, and that's a nice little 2-point look by Mew, the freshman. Here comes Garner going the other way. Cross-court pass. Petrulia Richards puts the ball on the hardwood and out to Garner at the top of the key. Garner going to work on Lovett. Up and under. Yeah, that was pretty.
We've seen a bit of that in Jada Garner's career, the junior and the senior, excuse me. But I just want to think to a moment ago, you got Petrulia, the sophomore, and Richards, a freshman, starting in the second half. 2 brand new players for Brian Morehouse. That, to me, is an interesting move.
And Gardner able to channel that turnover there. It looks like Mew was just moving her feet a little bit. She gets called for that travel.
That's why she never takes a play off. She made the play on the offensive end, came back across the timeline, ready on defense, created the turnover.
She's the commander-in-chief.
She is.
On the court. She does a fantastic job for the Dutch. And here's Bellows. Oh, so much room. So quick. She is called for the offensive charge, it looks like. She can't believe it. She has her trademark Olivia Bellows, oh my gosh face. I was giving her a hard time about that. Every foul. She's laughing now as she's going to take a seat on the bench for Brunsburg. Bellows has 3.
Deny, deny, deny. Admit nothing.
Can't blame them.
No. No.
Mew leading offense now out to Lovett. Lovett's been a little quiet, but she's made her impact defensively so far for Wilmington. Allstetter, 3. In and out, and back in.
She got the membership bounce on the road, but Allstetter, I like the cut of her jib. She's got a good game.
And there's Brunsburg out. Petrulia gets her defender in the air, and that's an easy nothing but nylon too.
You know, she was the 2nd ranked forward in the state of Michigan coming out of high school, and she went to Loyola Chicago. That is high praise for that young lady.
It's out for the corner. 3 is off the mark for Lovett. And I think they're going to get a foul on Mew. The freshman scrounging around with Garner trying to get the basketball. Here comes a slew of those second teamers in here now. That's Leah Richards, Roback, Maynard, Lauren Leach in the ball game now with Brunsburg.
Brunsburg, I think the only player ever from the state of Minnesota for Brian Morehouse. How do you like that potato?
That's pretty good. Hey, you know, Minnesota's a close second to Indiana when it comes to shooting. And hey, you were talking about Werman over there. It looks like Werman's in a boot already.
Yeah, there we go. There. Marcus Werman on the men's basketball team, the junior starting point guard, suffered injury in the second half and the loss earlier.
Oh, Brunsburg, great strength. She's able to use her shoulders up and through. Love that play there by Chloe Brunsburg. She's beat off the dribble now. McCoyne up for 2, but the rebound brought down by Brunsburg. Yeah, I said Minnesota close second to Indiana when it comes to shooters. It's those Midwestern states, you know. And that's an and 1, Chloe Brunsburg.
And I think you got to throw Wisconsin in that conversation with the plethora of Division III talent, men and women.
Oh, don't get me started. You know, one of my favorite teams to watch, even as a U of M fan, was that Frank Kaminsky 2015
Oh, my.
team. Was it Sam Decker, Kaminsky?
Yeah, I forget. It's been a while, but I'm one of the few Wisconsin Badger fans in the state of Michigan. My folks grew up in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and I've always been a Badger fan. Kaminsky.
I've never been to Madison. I heard it's just unbelievable, though.
You gotta go. It's a great college town and a lot of activity on Lake Minota and Mendota. How about that?
I've got a short list of colleges I got to do a tailgate for. Top of my list, Baton Rouge and Knoxville. But hey, I'll add Madison to it, and that's going to be Lovett. Not on the turnover. It looks like it's off the hands of Brunsburg, so she gets the ball back. Going the other way. She's driving. Dishes out. Right in the hands of Lauren Leach. Going the other way for Hope. Here's Brunsburg. To the basket.
Nice.
Yeah, Brunsburg again.
You know, I'm going to put to rest the Madison thing. Go there. My dad went to school there. I went to his frat one Saturday when I was there, invited us in, gave my wife and I a root beer. It was great. So you got to go check it out.
So the root beer is great in Madison.
True story. Yeah. That's true story. Something like that.
Maynard and Leach now leading. That's a 1-2 punch here for Hope College.
Go Chi-Fi House. Look it up.
Leach around the horn here to Richards. Richards playing that stretch 5. She doesn't mind bringing it out. Past the three-point line, she hit 2 3-pointers in the first half.
Ooh.
They're going to get Maynard for the offensive foul. And it looked like it's one of those where she kind of had the extended arm on the drive, and you're always going to get called for that.
Yeah, great point, Matt. And I love it. Not great numbers offensively today. She's been bottled up, but I just watched her specifically working so hard defensively. That's ethic. That is just a workload that she incorporates.
That's conviction.
Yes, thank you.
Conviction. You talk about that a lot as a coach. It's more so for you as a player is not how you respond when things are going well, but how do you respond after your miss? Are you resilient on that next play? Can you still find a way to impact the game? Late on the defensive help, Leach trying to get to that corner, and it's Russell missed that three, so in the hands of Maynard going the other way. Across court, Jason Beckman pass out to Lauren Leach.
There we go.
Leach back out to Maynard. Throwback with room to work. Rims out into the hands of Mew, who's pushing the other way for the fast break layup. Almost an and one. They're going to get Maynard for another foul, and I think Maynard has 4 now.
Let's check the research board right here. She does have 4th, but how about Mew, the freshman from Xenia, Ohio? I'll be driving through there next Friday, as a matter of fact. But I digress. But Mew, as a newbie, having a comfortable game today for Wilmington.
Yeah, and let's take a quick break here, Mike. We got 64-35 is the Hope College lead. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout.
There is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is Hope.
Back here, DeVos Fieldhouse, Matt Wayner, Mike Coleman. Mike, we're back in Xenia, Ohio. You got more stories to tell about that?
No, that's the only one I have. I just I actually checked out the population. I was looking for a place to hang my hat for a night, and Xenia looked like a viable option. So I'll be driving through in the daytime. I'll give you a full report next time we meet.
Well, and we've said Indiana is the home to the best high school basketball. I will give Ohio is up there for some of the best high school football.
Agreed.
In the Midwest. Ohio high school football is unbelievable.
Especially like towards the Steel Belt, they call it,
like
Massillon, Akron.
That's what I was thinking.
My goodness. In the 70s, when I was a kid, they were just magical. You had all these Notre Dame coaches came out of there. I'm trying to, name escapes me, but it was just a hotbed of football. Still is.
The first one to go. Yeah, like you said, Ohio really the home to a lot of great football, and that's a nice little rebound there and put back by Olivia Trusty. Here's Garner going the other way.
I think that's the first time we've seen Trusty tonight, the sophomore out of Bellbrook, Ohio.
And Richards just can't get that one to go. Yeah, Trusty been quiet. She played a few minutes in the first half.
Okay.
But not many. That's going to be a foul on the way up. So Leach finding her way to the free throw line now for the Dutch.
And good to see Leach, 12 minutes, has not scored a point yet, but a couple of rebounds, a steal. There we go. And Anna Richards, too, the freshman out of Lansing Catholic, 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3. That's not going to happen very often, but I think you like that first basket in your first game. She'll get it eventually.
Wow, beautiful pass, Kai Walker to Mew. Wow,
Holy
somebody called
smacks.
Sports Center. That was a sweet one-handed pass.
That was a low-level skip pass right through the gooey middle of that key and in for an easy basket.
So a 30-second timeout called by Coach Morehouse, something he didn't like to see that he wants to talk over. 25-point lead here by Hope College in DeVos. We'll be back.
Hope students come from diverse backgrounds, ready to create an environment where truth is sought, all voices are amplified, and challenges are met with determination and confidence. The Hope student body is ready to change the world. Our students act as beacons of hope for their community. They lead with courage, conviction, patience, and strength. They're ready to change the world.
Back here at DeVos Fieldhouse, 65-40 is the Hope College lead. And really, Mike, to me, it's more about bigger picture. I'm stepping back for that 30,000-foot view about this Hope College team. Obviously, the injury to Viss, it's going to be really important in the next 2-3 days what we find out about that and how that's going to affect their future. Nonetheless, this is a team that love the production so far from the two freshmen. Anna Richards not going to feel great about her production as much as she's finding her way that she belongs on the court. That's for sure.
Yeah, great point. A blessing in disguise for her. She's getting more minutes than probably Morehouse thought that she would play or contribute. And so you have to find these silver linings.
Belly tries to get up for one, and she's fouled on the way up by Mew.
And if I may, Matt, last year in the men's side of things, I know I keep phrasing the Hope men's basketball, but Eli Schoonveld went out with a season-ending injury. A lot of players did for Hope, but he was the emotional leader, the spark plug, the defensive leader on that team. Hope found a way to win. They made it to the national tournament, made it to the second round. That's just another example.
Yeah, find ways to impact the game. That doesn't necessarily mean points.
Right. And Schoonveld is a perfect example.
And that's a great lesson, something I talked about with our players yesterday. I was rewatching this old game and being able to say, like, hey, look at the way that these players are impacting the game when things don't go their way. Here's Lovett, leading the offense now for Wilmington. Wilmington, a team that today, although they're down 27, has played some really competitive basketball, something Sydney Moss should be very proud of.
You bet. You bet. She's a good coach. She's got a good group of players. And Matt, you talk about that determination and will. It reminds me back in the Super Bowl when Don Beebe, who's now a coach at Aurora for football, chased down Lett of Dallas. Buffalo was getting blown out. He ran 80 yards to catch him when it would be a return fumble touchdown. And even when the game was out of hand, you just can't teach that sort of thing. And that's what that's what an athlete has to have.
And that's oftentimes when we're talking to athletes at the high school level, the difference in college is the preparation, the commitment and the preparation to say, hey, things are really hard as a freshman. It's hard to be competitive because you're used to being the best player on the court. But can you wade through that freshman year and get tougher and learn some things? And that's a great turnover by the freshman nonetheless. Mew taking the ball the other way into the hands of Kai Walker now.
Yeah, she's savvy.
Love it. Nice move, but she can't get that one to go. Rebound brought down by Leah Richards. Here's Garner leading offense. Beats her defender to the basket. She's fouled on the way up.
You know, you look at the scores, not a lot of scoring in this third quarter, 67-41, but, you know, I know Viss is out for Hope, their leading scorer coming back. Wilmington just kind of hanging around this game. I know down by 26, but just doing enough to hang around and make it interesting and seeing some good spots of basketball from them.
And you and I pointed out at the break at halftime, in that second quarter, Wilmington shot 43% from the field, Hope only 27.
Right.
I mean, they really outplayed Hope in that second quarter quite a bit. It's just Hope got that early lead. As Garner gets another one to go.
Yeah, 27-9 after the first frame. Hope had the advantage.
And Kai Walker leading offense now. She gets a little space. It's a mismatch with Leach. And blocked by Leach. Shouldn't have said mismatch. She heard me. And a block again by Leah Richards into the hands of Lovett. Lovett gets the two to go. Second chance opportunities. It's Garner into the hands of Bellows. Bellows dribbled into the trap. Dishes down. Nice catch by Garner. Very athletic.
So tough when you're pinned against the side or in the corner that she was able to find Garner, who had presence of mind to streak to the basket, found the gap, laid it up and in.
That's a beautiful play. Here's Kai Walker now. A nice pass up and under to Lovett. Lovett is fouled on the way up. I think that's going to be on Garner.
That's a play we saw a lot in the first half. Lovett working the baseline, got the feed. Even though Garner was in great position, Lovett just changed her body control a little bit to go on the far side and able to slip it up and over. That's
Petrolia back in the ball game now. So Petrolia kind of played that 3-4 for them. She can shoot. She's also, they have her listed at 6'2".
I did the math when I was doing some game prep. I think we have 6 players 6'1" or taller, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but it's somewhere in that frame. That's rare air for a women's club in D3.
Absolutely true. And here's Bellows going the other way. She gets a little bit of space, but that one's just off the mark. Here's Lovett with her eyes up in transition. Dishes out to Mew. Mew in the corner to Sierra McCoy. McCoy down, nice pass to Rupp. Natalie Rupp gets the 2 to go.
Yeah, she originated at the free throw line, working the same side as the ball, streaked down the mid post and open basket.
Brunsberg on the left wing is out to Petrolia at the top, out to Bellows now. Bellows driving through traffic, strong. Gets that 1 to go.
Yeah, she just so tough, such good body control. Bellows now with 14, tied for the team lead with Jada Garner.
That was quietest 14 points I've seen.
I know. That's a great observation.
Her and Garner just kind of doing their subtle work without Viss in there. McCoy for 3, off the mark. The rebound brought down by Mew. Mew also too strong. It's off the hands of Brunsberg. It's going to stay here.
And then Chloe Brunsberg for Hope, 8 rebounds, 10 points, just stacking the stat sheet. Nothing fancy or outlandish, just solid play.
Leah Richards going to get a break on the bench. Roback and Lee back in the ballgame now. So it's Lee, Petrolia, Brunsberg, Roback. I'm sorry, Leach going to come in for Brunsberg. And the last one looks like that's Jada Garner. Maynard going to be on the bench for the majority of this second half with her 4 fouls. Love it. That's a nice little touch. I love that one.
That's a tough shot, that little sidewinder from the baseline from 8-9 feet.
Garner with a dish off to Petrolia. Petrolia, that's pretty, but you can't get that to go. Another Courtney Lee rebound. Petrolia can't get that, and it's a board by Garner, continuing to work hard. Here's Leach on the left wing, thinking about a 3. Dishes out to Petrolia. Petrolia puts it on the floor. She's fouled on the floor. Looks like that foul is going to be on number 23. It's Gabby Russell.
Here's what I liked about that transaction. 2 offensive rebounds. Courtney Lee got the first one, didn't try to force it, brought it out. Garner got the second one, wheeled around and reset. Did not try to force it down low when they didn't have a shot. That's the discipline that we talk about.
There's Petrolia, gets the first one. 2 shots to go down, 74-47 here in DeVos.
And you know, Matt, a player like Petrolia did not get a lot of minutes with Loyola Chicago. How excited do you think she is to get some meaningful time to a good basketball team that she knows she can contribute to? That's like new life.
And just a little too strong of a pass by Sierra McCoy, and she instantly regrets that one off the hands of Lovett. So another Wilmington turnover. And hey, I'm excusing all of it. Like I said, it's November.
You bet.
And this team's been tired, and they've played really hard, and Hope scored a lot of points. A team that's on their way to 100 points by the end of this one.
And I've seen Hope College score just as many points against teams who didn't work as hard as Wilmington. So that impresses me. And I mean, both teams are busting it on both ends. They really are.
And when you watch a lot of basketball at the Division III level, sometimes there's teams that just don't really seem to have a plan of attack against Hope. You can tell with Coach Moss, they have a plan of attack. I mean, they're trying to keep everybody on the perimeter. They're trying to not allow these everybody to be cutting super hard. Their defensive strategy has been good. It's been good against Hope. Sometimes you're just outmatched from a talent standpoint.
Right. And Wilmington outmatched a little bit, but they've adapted by doing backdoor cuts after Hope contests the wing, things like that.
McCoy trying to get that last second 3-pointer to go. But that will be the end of the third quarter. 76-47 is a 29 Hope College. 29-point Hope College lead. We got fourth quarter action after this. Mike Coleman and Matt Wayne are here at DeVos Fieldhouse.
The River Place in downtown Holland redefines active senior living. A no-step floor plan is designed around your needs, so you can leave the worries of home ownership behind and enjoy a vibrant lifestyle right outside your door. Make the River Place your home. Visit resthaven.org/riverplace to reserve yours today.
Back here at DeVos, Matt Wainer and Mike Coleman. And Mike, it's a 29-point lead by Hope College. And Wilmington, like we said, has been playing tough the entirety of this game. As it looks like now in for Hope College, that looks like Anna Richards, Chloe Brunsberg, Brooklyn Roback, Courtney Lee, and Maddie Petrolia in. That's a turnover there, and Roback in transition out to Anna Richards. She thinks about it, she dishes that ball out. Petrolia now, Roback, nice pass down to Lee for 2. Off the mark, Lee gets her board, she gets that 2 to go. She might be in double-digit rebounds at this point. See if I can check the stat sheet for you.
I think she's got one more to go, which would be lovely. A double-double, it would be her first career double-double.
And there's Anna Richards in transition now. Out to Brunsberg. And that's just off the mark. In the hands now of Russell going the other way.
60% shooting by Hope in that third quarter, 9 of 15. 44% for the Quakers, not bad, but Hope just a little bit better.
Here's McCoy trying to go to work on Anna Richards. Right into the hands of Courtney Lee. And here's the hands of the guard Roback now.
Matt, Sydney Capon, the sophomore center out of Tucson, Arizona, in the game for the Quakers for the first time, I believe.
Tucson, Arizona. I wonder how she's feeling about the weather out here in Ohio in the winter.
Well,
quite a different climate.
Bit of a change for sure. You ever been to Tucson?
I haven't been to Tucson. I've spent some time in Phoenix. I love it. I would love to live in Phoenix. How do you like Tucson?
I like Tucson. I lived in Phoenix for a year, and Tucson was just as delightful.
You know, you were talking earlier about how you like to, once you see a player and you really like them, you'll follow them through their career. I called the game Hope College tournament last year. It was Puget Sound came to town.
Was this baseball?
Guard, no, women's basketball.
Oh, that's right.
Freshman guard Paige O was her name, and every once in a while I'll check the stat sheet, see how she's doing. Out in Washington, she's from Honolulu, and she was this guard, really good handle. She only played like 12 minutes, and I was like, I really like what she does. Jimmer Rogers, if you remember him, he was a guy I called games with.
Right.
And we would every once in a while just send each other Paige O stat lines, be like, hey, she had double-double.
There you go. It just sticks with you because some players are just special, or teams. It's like, I wonder how they're doing. They played so well, or, you know.
Yeah, there was parts of her game that, like, she had such good handles, and she was really fast. And she was just, her only downside was she was 5'3". Every other part of her game was awesome. So every once in a while I stay by, I'm a Paige O stan. I'd stay in line and watch her the entirety of her career.
Nice.
Well, I guess we missed a few possessions because I got distracted. It looks like they're going to take a timeout. We'll stay here and talk a minute. 78-49.
You bet.
It's the Hope College lead. And Mike, when we look ahead of this season and you talk about this women's team, is there anything in particular that stands out that you're most excited for the entirety of this season?
Well, yes, as a team that's favored to win the MIAA, that's always a double-edged sword because that shows respect by the league and the coaches where you need to be, but you need to back that up. Now, I think it's when you're the top dog and your favorite, you can only go down per se on things. But I think Hope really was buoyed by the fact that they had a young team and they were very successful. It's all the culture. They love it. They love playing with each other. And I think that is carried over. It's a good group of seniors and captains like you talked about in Garner and Bellows and things of that nature. So I think this team is experienced enough, and the incoming freshmen and the newbies coming in make an exciting mix. So I think the balance of the experience and the youngsters learning Hope College traditions and what it means to play here really bodes well for this year. And they'll have a few games, a lot at home here, which makes things very comfortable for them.
Like you were talking about, that joy that they play with. When I had that conversation with Jada and Olivia and Sydney, one of the things that Jada had said, and that one's off the mark there by Maynard out in transition now, is Kai Walker. She said, I said, what would you want fans and viewers to know about this team? She said, I want them to see how well we celebrate each other, how much we love each other. And I hope people see we love basketball, we have this genuine connection to play with each other. I hope that's what everybody gets when they watch us play. I think that's been evident so far today. I just thought that's a really cool thing for her to say about her teammates and about her experience at Hope.
That's a great observation, because not so much at the college level, but at the pro level, good teams buy into the program. Talent has a lot to do with it, and great talent can overcome maybe shortcomings as far as like personal goals and things of that nature. But college is still a little more pure. And when you buy into a system, it's players that come to Hope College know that Brian Morehouse demands it. It's not an arrogance thing. It's not he's not being a bully. It's just those are the expectations, and not every player type can play here, and that's what you have to bring to the table, knowing that you're not going to be the big honcho. You're part of a hub of a wheel.
And Anna Richards gets a couple of free throws to go.
Her first points of the career in a Hope uniform, good for Anna Richards. You bet.
And that was a nice two-pointer there by Mew. Out in transition now is Brunsburg. Wilmington trying to get back on D. Grayson Guy just has that ball exposed too much, and it's going to be a jump ball there as Mew fights for it with Grayson Guy.
Matt, this is a team last year that averaged 75 points a game at Hope, and they only gave up 56. And so they're kind of on pace with the numbers that they shared last year. They had a lot of big blowout wins, and then things get a little bit tighter with such as Trine and Calvin into the tournament. But even not playing their best in the first game of the year, not shooting great, still 80 points. That's a good day.
80 points on their way to 100. Be their first century mark here. Well, that's a nice pass by Allstetter out to Mew, and Mew picks up her dribble, trying to get it out now to Sierra McCoyne at the top of the key. Here's McCoyne going to work on Brunsburg. Time expiring on the shot clock, 5 seconds. Rebound brought down by Richards. Here's Maynard now. Maynard with 4 fouls here. She's careful as she dishes out. Richards finally gets that three-pointer to go. She needed that for the confidence, and she got it to go. She's got 5 points here.
She sure did. Nothing feels better.
It's kind of felt like the way that she's been shooting those with confidence makes me think this might be one of the only games that we see those not falling. I think she's somebody that, from what I hear, can really shoot the basketball.
Can you imagine you go from even high exposure in high school to college? I mean, our facility here, when we get a lot of fans especially, it's a special place. And you got to be completely amped up. And she might have just a lot of juice going on tonight in her first game.
She's played a lot of minutes, like you said, in replacement of Sydney Viss. We'll hope that we can get some information on that injury later and update with you guys if there's anything to say.
Both teams shooting 40% in this game, so in that aspect, it's been fairly even. Hope 9 of 22 from deep, and just 2 of 14 from the Quakers. Not part of their resume of their game plan.
Maynard leading the charge here for Hope College. One-handed pass out to Brunsburg around the corner. Petrolia for 3, off the mark, and here's Lovett now in transition. She's got to be careful on Maynard. Up and under, Lovett for the easy 2.
That was tough for Maynard defensively. She got sidewinded and wasn't able to use good footwork, and Lovett just danced to her right for the easy
She knew
deuce.
she couldn't foul out, so she just gave up that 2.
That helped too. You know,
and that's also something I noticed that Lovett, I think, could know, like, hey, she's not going to contest this.
I would think with her basketball IQ, she certainly knows that Maynard has 4 fouls.
Like you say, when you talk about basketball IQ, here comes substitute Grayson Guy in the ballgame now for Richards. First time in the ballgame here for Hope. Number 3, the freshman from Rochester, Sarah LaPrairie, in the ballgame now.
Getting her first action in a Hope College uniform. 30 games for Hope last year. They scored 80 plus 10 times, and they're at the 83 mark right now.
Petroleum misses that front end. It's a 30-point lead. We didn't establish if there was a MGM Grand betting line at the beginning of this game for a point total. But 84 now, up 31.
I would think that would be, I don't know about you, I was thinking 80 to 90, just based on the numbers. Of course, you never know.
For Hope's point total?
Correct, yes, yes.
Well, I was wondering what the spread was.
Oh, I
was thinking like a 27.5 point spread was around where I was thinking before the game. I'm not sure the legalities, though, in Division III women's basketball.
I think
if there's anybody legislating betting lines out there.
Can we get the research department on that?
If there's a market for it, I can surely. Maybe you and I have enough information on these teams. But
root beers, betting, I think we're skirting the edge.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. If I want to keep my job for next time. It's a long season. Nice move there by Allstetter. That was great body control. Hope now in transition. LaPrairie on the left wing. Trying to go to work. Out to Leach now. Here to Grayson Guy. Dishes off to Maynard. Maynard, nice dish. Down to Guy. Guy going to work. Strong.
Nice.
Strong right through Lauren Humphrey. Sophomore from Sumner.
That Guy, 14 games last year. Not a lot of minutes, but getting some minutes tonight.
LaPrairie was fighting Lovett there for the ball. And that jump ball looks like it's going to be Hope basketball.
Hope's going to cruise tonight. You know, they did have their first 8 games of the season theoretically here at home, but due to Hope College hosting volleyball, they have to go on the road to Van Ord next week. So Hope's own tournament with 3 other teams that was supposed to be here is going to be moved to Calvin, unfortunately, next week on the Friday and Saturday.
And I think that was, yeah, I'd have to look at that schedule again.
Yeah, we've got next week, we have Loras College, and Hope College is competing. And then the game on Saturday, it's going to be a dandy. Illinois Wesleyan, ranked in the nation against Hope College. It'll be a good stern test for this ball club.
This Leach gets that one to go there.
How about that little fake by Leach? Just a little hesitation move, the double clutch.
There, Russell almost in rebound brought down by Mew. And that's LaPrairie ends up getting the rebound. The ball bounces around. LaPrairie going the other way. Can't get that to go. And that's a new Hope College player in there. Who's that? Number 5 for Hope College. Katie Blaze.
Oh, Katie Blasey.
Blasey
Yes.
From freshman from Franklin, Wisconsin.
Talked about Wisconsin.
I'm guessing you will defend her. You'll say she can shoot the basketball.
She can shoot the basketball. You have to.
Lily Miller in the ball game now. Hope College. Junior from Mona Shores.
Matthew, you're probably wondering when our next broadcast is. Theoretically, November 22nd and 23rd, as Hope College has a Hope College tournament, but that could be moved to West Ottawa based on several factors. So just check the MIAA website or athletics.hope.edu.
So that would be men's games we have, right?
That'd be women's games, yes. Men will be on the road next week. No, the 22nd and the 23rd of November.
So next week, both teams are
correct on the road at Calvin. So it was at home, but those have been scrubbed.
That's right. Because I had that on my calendar that we were going to be here originally.
Correct.
So might have the weekend off.
Might have the weekend off. A lot of sports going on. It's nice to host a national tournament, which you will have here at DeVos. So hence the women having to move to Van Ord Arena. That's a good problem to have.
Van Ord Arena, a good shooter's gym.
A good shooter's gym.
You hear that from any Hope basketball player. They love the shooters lighting in there.
And it's interesting, you know, it's larger capacity-wise than DeVos Fieldhouse here. It just has a totally different vibe as a spectator and a broadcaster.
Yeah, it feels like it's so crowded.
Yes.
The court.
Yes,
You know,
which it
this
is.
so spacious in DeVos.
Not a lot of legroom in that sedan at Calvin at the broadcast table.
Hey, we got another Hope College sub in there. That's number 12, Emma Yakey, a sophomore from St. Charles, Illinois.
Down by St. Louis area.
And Lily Miller's blocked on the way up, it looks like.
Yeah, we've got player from Minnesota, Indiana, Wisconsin, Illinois.
Actually, it looks like she's going to be fouled. So Miller at the free throw line now. We'll see if we get any other new subs, new players in for Wilmington. A couple of minutes there by Tasia Walker, the freshman from Wilmington, Ohio. Got in the ball game. She's been in and out. As Miller gets her first point of the Dutch season.
Yeah, another tall junior, Lily Miller, out of Norton Shores, like you said, Matt. And 14 games last year, averaging 7 minutes a game.
Second one can't get it to go. Here's Sierra McCoy. And it's stolen there. Here's Yakey. Yakey in transition. Strong up, and she's fouled.
That was a strong up. I'm glad you mentioned that because she knew she was going to absorb a contact, and she braced for it, kind of turned her body to the right, led with the left side, protected the basketball.
I think they're going to get, I think that's Russell on the foul there.
I think it was.
Or Trusty. Mixed them up a couple of times tonight, and Yakey gets that first one to go.
We had similar name in the men's game earlier for Anderson. Lakey, I believe it was. So you've got some similar pronunciations.
Here's Mew now leading the charge there. Out to Rupp. Rupp driving on Miller. Goes up strong, but off the mark. LaPrairie gets the rebound. She's fighting for it. And fighting for it with Mew. It's going to be a jump ball. Will stay with Wilmington.
14 players have scored for Hope College in this one. Just 2 have not scored. That's LaPrairie and Blasey. With 3:25 left.
And that's Mew at 11 here, freshman. So somebody, her and McCoy seem to be 2 freshmen that are going to play a lot of minutes.
Agreed.
You know, this is a pretty young team. Other than Lovett, the graduate 5th year, everybody else pretty young.
One junior, one
Ty
senior.
Walker, the senior as well.
You bet.
Here's LaPrairie in transition. Nice pass to Yakey off the mark. Lily Miller, nice board. But it's stolen back by Sierra McCoy. McCoy steps out of bounds. This will be Hope College basketball.
That's a tough break. LaPrairie was giving McCoy a hip check, and McCoy stepped on the sideline. I thought it was going to be a foul on Hope.
So that's Blasey getting the ball in to Roback now. Miller top of the key, almost gets it stripped, dishes out. LaPrairie for 3. Off the mark, rebound brought down by Rupp.
Well, it won't get any easier for Wilmington. Their next game is Tuesday at Van Ord Arena against Calvin. But Calvin took it on the chin tonight to number 13, Wisconsin Stout, 70-46.
It's a nice move by Trusty, and it's off the mark, but Russell gets the rebound, the putback, and she's fouled on the way up.
You know, speaking of schedules, too, I like looking at team schedules, and some teams just have a death wish. I mean, for lack of a better word. Men's Trine basketball, they have an insane schedule this year, but they are completely loaded and stacked, so they'll be fine. But it's interesting who you can get to schedule and who you want to schedule, things of that nature.
And that's Sierra McCoy, nothing but net. The top of the key. It's a nice shot here.
And she struggled with her shot tonight, but McCoy's going to be just fine. That's just her second field goal, but 4 assists, sticks out. Good aggressive play. And Sydney Moss, Brian Morehouse coaching right to the end. That's what coaches do. Moss called a timeout when her player was tied up.
So it looks like we'll have to take a break here, Mike. 92-60, Hope College lead. We'll be back here.
Yeah, well, yeah, they, no, not for, so our next broadcast.
Two minutes, 17 seconds left in the ball game. 92-60 is the Hope College lead. And Mike, we're all about wrapped up here. Looks like we got that third group of Hope College in there. Looks like Miller, Lily Miller, Brooklyn Roback, Blazy, Yakey, and La Prairie in there. That's Trusty for 3 off the mark. And rebound brought down by La Prairie.
La Prairie, Trusty, Blazy.
Nice move by La Prairie. She's fouled on the way up. She was expecting contact, you could tell.
Rochester Stony Creek, that's where La Prairie's from, home of 2 players that will factor in tomorrow in Hope football's quest for MIAA title is Seth Lumen and Cole Lumen, 2 fine players, big parts of that team for Peter Sturzma. Go in the rivalry game tomorrow against Calvin at Grand Rapids Christian High School.
Yeah, that's exciting. And obviously Calvin with the new addition of a football team. Exciting for that rivalry and for fans to be heading out there, be able to see that.
I've got tickets. I live a mile away. I mean, 2 different places to hang my hat, but it'll be fun. And then they have their stadium being built on campus. It's a gorgeous structure. They'll be ready next year.
Rupp's 3-pointers off the mark, and La Prairie gets that rebound. So we got a few names in there that might be the future Hope College in Yakey and La Prairie, as well as Blazy. So a young crew in there now.
And I always like the fact, especially the young players who practice just as hard, I think all this experience, we saw that on the football team this fall too, a lot of young talent, all this experience, you put it in the vault, you add things up, and it helps you down the line. You're on the court, you get a feel for it, you get a feel of the pace. It can't help but be beneficial.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the success that Coach Morehouse has had is allowing younger players to play. The ones that he believes in, giving them opportunities in these non-conference games. When your team's able to get up by a lot, it opens up opportunities for other players.
How many teams have you seen, Matt, in the past where they rely on 2-3 players? And like Sydney Viss went out with an injury, and Hope hasn't missed a beat. They've got so much experience doing that 5-and-5 that I'm not saying they don't miss or don't misconstrue me, but they can overcome it.
Well, and I even think about, I remember early last season having a really good feeling about that Trine men's team. Ended up winning it all. But I remember texting you and Casey Rutledge and saying, whether it's Managlo or it's the 2 seniors, the Garlands. I mean, they had so much experience that I was just like, this is a Final Four level team.
Agreed.
Because they had 6-7 guys that they could really trust.
It was incredible. When they weren't even in the top 25, I just screaming at the top of my lungs in my head going, this team
is really good.
Is good, really good. And when we were the last team to beat them last year before they did their run.
And a really nice pass, Yakey down to Miller. Lily Miller gets that 2-pointer to go. We're coming under a minute here. Like you said, I wasn't that shocked about that team ending up winning at all. They were so experienced. They had 2 really good guards and brothers. But like you said, and we've talked about, they were deep. They had guys. You know, and that seems to be a huge theme. I mean, even all the way to the top when you think about UConn men's and women's as well.
Oh, yeah. You know, I'll give you one more thought on Trine basketball. I'll leave it at that. They have 2 transfers. The leading scorer from Hanover last year, Max Greenemoyer, joining Trine, and Cam Smith, who played for Anderson last year, who we saw earlier in game number 1. He comes off the bench for Trine. He was a starter with the Ravens last year. That shows you how deep Trine is again.
The Prairie is out to Roback. Gets it down to Blasey. It's off the hands of Trusty.
Good balance once again by Hope. Olivia Bellows, 16 points. Jada Garner, 15. Their night has long since been done. And Maddie Petrulia, first game in a Hope uniform, 11 points. Couple of 3 balls early.
The Prairie hounded there by Mew, and Mew forces the travel on La Prairie. So now we got Wilmington basketball here. Under a minute to play.
Just 14 turnovers for the Flying Dutch. If you're Brian Morehouse, something to work on. I mean, in a good way. He's got to be pleased with that first game of the year.
You can't get the 2 to go. She's had a fantastic game. She's got 11 so far. Somebody that's been able to kind of command the offense opposite of Lovett.
Right.
All day, and she's done a fantastic job offensively.
And Matt, you're a baseball guy. She's like a 5-tool player. Points 10, rebounds 5, steals 5, things of that nature. She's a Swiss Army knife on this ball club, and she's just a freshman.
5 tools in baseball. Can you remember them?
Let me see. Hitting, fielding, throwing, base running, and am I right so far?
Hit for contact and hit for power.
Oh. So I was way off.
Throwing, fielding, and speed or base running.
I'll leave it to the professionals.
Ooh. Trusty fouls La Prairie on her way up. It's been some good Sarah La Prairie minutes here late in this ball game. As we're all but wrapped up. And like you've said here, as we wrap up the broadcast next week, those games at Calvin. So to lead off with the 5 p.m. game, Calvin versus Illinois Wesleyan, and then Hope College at 7 against Loras College. And then on Saturday, the 2 p.m. game, Calvin will play Loras College, and then Hope will play Illinois Wesleyan. Illinois Wesleyan, a team Hope played last year, really competitive game.
Yeah, they always have a good culture. And Loras, don't overlook them. They've got some votes in the honorable mention in the top 25. So that's going to be an ambitious weekend for the Flying Dutch.
Yeah, I remember calling that Illinois Wesleyan game. Really impressed with that team. That game came down to the wire.
Yes, it did. One for the books in Hope history.
Hope's not going to make it past the century mark today. One shy. 99 to 63 is the final here at DeVos Fieldhouse. And a great game by Hope College here as they defeat Wilmington. And Wilmington, you got to tip your cap to them for a great game that they played so far today.
You bet. Great effort for 40 minutes. The bench was active off to our left for Sydney Moss and her young team. And I think I'm going to keep my radar on them and see how they do as they make their way into the OAC this coming winter. But a good effort by Hope College. They shoot 42%, 36 from deep. Wilmington, pretty fair, 38%. And there's Sydney Viss. She is in the procession line, and congrats. And Sydney Viss, she has her right leg and ankle wrapped from the knee down. Check that. Yes, it's from the knee down to her toes, and she is walking with a cart, with a what do you call those, Matthew? A wheel like cart.
Yeah, walking cart.
A walker cart.
Not sure exactly, and hopefully we can get some information before the next broadcast and update on that. Like you said, very hard to see her go down in so much pain earlier. We hope that for the best for her and that that's nothing serious as Hope moves in to next weekend in that tournament play to see what they have. And it was a lot of Anna Richards that took over those minutes through the first 3 quarters. She did a fantastic job. And this is a Hope team that's very exciting as they continue to find who that 8, 9, 10 players deep are going to be that are going to contribute.
And we'll see that morph as we move into the first week or 2 of the season. And right now, tentatively, our next broadcast will be on the 22nd of November for the women as they take on Anderson University. It's at 7 p.m. right here at DeVos Fieldhouse. And then on 23rd, the Saturday, they take on Carroll, another team that's, I believe, ranked in the top 25. So a pretty good schedule for Brian Morehouse in non-conference action.
That's right. And I think that'll just about do it for us. And Mike, for you and I, we will be back on the call multiple times this season. So you won't be You won't be done with me just yet. So we'll have a lot of fun this season calling men's and women's basketball throughout the season. Can't wait to be spending your Fridays and Saturdays and your Wednesday nights with you Hope College fans throughout the rest of this beautiful season.
Beautiful stuff, Matthew. And like you said, we're going to try and get some interviews with some coaches and players of other sports during halftime. And we thank you so much for checking in tonight on this Friday.
That'll do it for us from DeVos Fieldhouse. That's a 99-63 Hope College women's victory over Wilmington. And we will see you next time. Take care.